Hello, I'm Rand here, and guess what we're working on today? Well, it doesn't say, does it? But we're working on the John Deere 2510. I'm going to start working on probably putting some of the sheet metal back on the tractor here. Before I do that, I thought maybe it'd be a good idea just to check the valves, see once where they are at here before we put the top back on, or the hood back on. Also off camera here, I went ahead and rerouted the wires here. If you remember, they came up and over before. Now they go down through there. Clean that up a little bit. Oh, that's right. I need to reconnect it yet too, don't I? It's just hanging there. I forgot about that. Need to get that reconnected and tied up. But yeah, at least for starters here in this video, I want to check the valves here. Hopefully that'll be just a real quick check. Hopefully. Got to figure out how I can spin the engine over from here as well. I can't really get in there like I used to before. But hopefully we can grab onto something there and get it to turn over here a little bit. As a alternative, the starter is connected as well. So yeah, let's get started on that here. We'll get the valve cover pulled off here. Like I said, should be a relatively quick, simple check here. I don't know how many hours on the motor. It's probably like 20 hours on the motor now since the rebuild there. So again, like I said, just before I put the hood on, it just seems like a good idea just to quick check that. Well, everyone, that didn't go quite how I thought it would. I don't know why these end ones were so pissing tight, but oh my goodness, everyone. Oh, yeah, needless to say, I don't think I'll be putting those back in. Oh, wow, I don't know what was up with those. The rest of them came out fine, everyone. Was there 6 of them on the side here and 1 on each end? Came out like nothing, but the end ones, wow. I don't know what was wrong with them, but I got to say one thing here, everyone. I made a video on this Hercules here. That's probably going on a couple years here ago now. A lot of people like to call BS on that video. But hopefully, as you folks just seen, when the going gets tough, I don't reach for the DeWalt. I reach for the Hercules. Look what this thing did to this bit. I don't know. Can I get it to focus? I'm going to have to get a new one. Unfortunately, it's the only one I got, too. Focus? Come on now, focus. Focus. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get it to focus good enough. Anyway, it's twisted up pretty good. Yeah, that bit, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, there you can kind of see it. Yeah, and that's a Milwaukee bit, by the way. Twisted the snot out of that thing. So, yeah, I don't know why those end pieces were such bastards, but whoa, my goodness. At least they came out, everyone. Like I said, won't be putting them back in there. So, we can pop that cover off now. And like I said, I'll have to get the engine in the right rotation here, and we'll see where we're at. Okay, everyone, got the engine rotated over until there's a pin on the other side by the flywheel that slides in. I just rotated it around until it slid in. I think the number 1 is the top dead center here. It looks like they are both closed, I think. At least it kind of looks that way. Let's see what's here. Maybe not. Those both feel like they got tension on them. Interesting. Okay. Wait, both? One should, one shouldn't, right? Or is that how that works? Let's see what's here. I could be rotated around one too many revolutions here, too. That's possible. Again, everyone, I just rotated the flywheel around until the pin dropped in, so I might be one revolution off here, which is fine. We'll just check the other ones then. So that's how that's going to work, and then we'll rotate it around one revolution and check the other ones. But so if it's in that one, number 4 should be at top dead center. Adjust number 2 and number 4 exhaust valves to 18 inches. Well, let's check that here a minute. I got my feeler gauge here, so that is number 2 and number 4 exhaust valves, and that's how they line up here. By the way, the front starts with number 1. So number 2 and number 4, we need 18 thousandths. The exhaust valve is the back one, right? Yes. So let's see what's here. That feels pretty good. Maybe a little tight. And that one feels really tight. Yeah, I cannot get that in that one. I'll have to maybe put the camera down here a minute so I got both hands to do this. Yeah, let me do that. I'll put the camera down here a minute, everyone, so I get both hands, and then I'll let you know what we have here. Okay, everyone, got the engine rotated around another 360 degrees here. I did adjust the number 4 intake just ever so slightly. I think it was more like 18 instead of 14 thousandths, so adjusted that one slightly. Now we're on to the next set of valves here, and started checking them here, and I noticed number 3 here. Wow, look at that, everyone. What is up with that? That is a lot of... That's not 18 thousandths. That's not even close to 18 thousandths there. I remember when we first rebuilt this motor, by the way, or first time we took it off, number 3 exhaust valve was way off then as well. So I don't know. Is something going on with number 3 exhaust valve here? Because, wow, that's not the first time I've adjusted that by a significant amount. Now, obviously the first time since I freshly rebuilt the motor here, everyone, but before we rebuilt it, it was way off as well. So that's kind of odd. Number 1 here seems to be pretty good, and I got to look at the directions here. I think is it number 1 and number 2 intake? Yeah, like I said, I'm going to have to go look at the directions here, which intakes I got to check. I'm pretty sure it's number 1. That feels like it might be a little loose. Might have to adjust that ever so slightly, and I think I'm going to guess it's number 2, because number 2 is open too, and looks like that. Yeah, just like the slightest of adjustments there. Which, again, everyone, fresh rebuild on the motor doesn't particularly surprise me. It needs a little bit, but that seems like an awful lot. Anyone have any thoughts on that? Well, let me get that adjusted here. I wonder, yeah, I don't know, why would it? There's no lock nuts on these here, everyone. It's just you turn the nut or the screw out. Let me go around the other side here and show you folks. One thing I don't like about this, there's no lock nuts there. You just turn the screw out. In fact, you can see that screw is in quite a bit further than the rest there. So you just turn it out. It's how do you lock it in place? I don't know what holds it in place, but so I'm wondering if it's slowly moving. Don't know. Okay, well, everyone, I didn't quite exactly get done when I was hoping to all get done here tonight, but we got the valves adjusted. Kind of as I suspected, all except for the third exhaust valve there. A couple of them were off by just like a smidgen little bit, kind of to be expected, I would say, after a overhaul like that. However, the number 3 exhaust valve has me a little concerned because, wow, everyone, that was off by a lot. Again, got it adjusted back down where it needs to be. I don't know why it's so far off. Again, there's no lock nuts on these, everyone. So the only thing I can assume is that nut is slowly working its way up. But why? I mean, again, there's no lock nuts. So what holds it in place? Just simply the little bit of friction that's on it? I don't know. But I mean, you can obviously see, everyone, that nut was up in there quite a bit further than the rest. So I'm pretty sure that's what happened. At least it looked like to me anyway. So yeah, I got all the rest of the valves adjusted there. I ended up switching all the little flat head flat screws there to bolts. So we got regular bolts in here, just 7/16, right? Yeah, 7/16 bolts, I believe is what they were. Got those in there. And yeah, that should be, or not 7/16. What size am I thinking here? Half, no, 7/16? No, it's too big for that. Quarter. Yes, everyone, quarter. I had to think there a minute, like 7/16. Wait a minute, these bolts are nowhere near that big. Yeah. quarter inch bolts in there. That's what's in there. So yeah, just replaced all those 3/4 inch long bolts, and I just put regular lock washers on top of them there. I don't know what the torque spec is for that. It's probably in the book there if I took the time to look it up, but I just kind of torqued them down nice and snug. Again, valve cover, you don't really go that tight with it, so that should be pretty good, I think, and I'll just keep an eye on it. If it leaks a little bit, we'll just tighten it down a smidge more or something like that. Speaking of which, you can probably tell it is leaking just ever so slightly already, or was already, so what is it with valve covers and leaking, everyone? Is that just like written down somewhere that they have to leak? Brand new gasket on there, and yeah, 20 hours on the motor, and it's leaking ever so slightly. Like I said, you can see that a little bit. So, yeah, well, I got that back on, got the pin on the other side pulled out. By the way, if you haven't seen the pin, for those of you wondering how you do this, you simply, right here's this pin. You pull that out, you spin the flywheel around until there's a notch it falls into, or a hole it falls into, and you basically just flip this around and you stick it in. So that's how that aligns the flywheel so it's in the right position. And again, you spin it once, and ideally, according to the book, you start with the number 1 at top dead center. Well, it's kind of hard to tell which one's at, when you're spinning it around here looking for the hole, you don't know up here what is, in what place. So we actually had it backwards to start with, which again is fine. Everyone, you start with number 4 then, and just follow the directions backwards, so to speak. So, and then once you got that done, spin it around another 360 degrees, drop that pin in again, and of course then kind of start from the beginning of the directions, the number 1 in the top dead center there. So again, it didn't go too badly. Like I said, other than number 3 here. Again, didn't quite get done what I was hoping to get done here. We do need to weld up this cab bracket here, everyone. This cab bracket does not instill any sort of confidence in me. That just looks... Yeah, it does not look good at all. We did paint it, if you recall, back when we painted the tractor here. So yeah, unfortunately, we'll have to kind of grind that back off a little bit, and even it's not welded underneath either. So the only welds you see are that one and this one. Really, I mean, there's not much holding on that weld. So definitely want to improve that. And I thought about it maybe with the fact that I'm going to add some rubber mounts on here, I should maybe lower it down, but I don't think so. I think I'm just going to leave it the way it's at, and if we end up with a gap up here, we'll just fill it in. I mean, a gap I think would actually maybe be a good thing, so it's not resting on the hood, and we'll just, I don't know, foam or something. We'll find something that'll fit in between there, right? Let's see what's there. Yeah, I was hoping to maybe start getting the platform back on and the sheet metal in the back deck back on there, and maybe even the hood back on here, but like I said, everyone ran out of time here tonight. So anyway, on that note, everyone, thanks for watching. Comments or questions, be sure to leave them below. Also, if you have any thoughts on the number 3 exhaust valve there, yeah, what are you supposed to do about that? I'll have to do a little research myself, see if I can find anything else. So yeah, everyone, thanks for watching, and until next time.